Hi friends, I'm Tina Zink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I live in Nova Scotia, Canada. If you're returning to my channel, welcome. And if this is your first time, I hope you enjoyed today's demonstration. I am going to make a card using a brand new stamp set from Stampin' Up! It is called All Things Fabulous, and it also has a coordinating set of dies. This stamp set at first glance is a bit overwhelming, but once you start playing with it, it's actually very easy. It's actually a 3-step stamp set. I am in love with it. So let me show you how easy it is to create beautiful cards using this new stamp set. I am so in love with this stamp set. So this stamp set comes as a bundle with the coordinating dies. So this is the stamp set here, All Things Fabulous, and then the dies. So when you buy them together, you save 10%. This is one of the first bundles I got out of the new Stampin' Up! Annual catalog, and I couldn't wait to play with it. I'm going to be honest, when I opened it up, I was a little bit overwhelmed. Now I've got some stamps out of here because I'm going to use them on the card. But let me put some paper behind this so you can see. I'll flip it around. But can you see we've got 1B, 7A, 2B, 1A, 7B, 2A, 1C, 5C, and I was like, oh my gosh, how difficult is this stamp set going to be? And you know what? Once I played with it, I'm like, oh, it's easy. Originally, at first, I thought this set is just too much work. I was ready to send it back. But I'm so glad I played with it because, friends, it is an easy stamp set and it's so beautiful. So let me explain the numbers. So we have, for instance, 1A is this flower here. And then we look for 1B, which is here, and 1C. This is a 3-step stamp set. We have a lot of 2-step stamp sets, and what that means is you don't have to color anything in. The stamps do it all for you. So you stamp the one image, and then you stamp the second image on top, and that completes the entire image. With this set, it's mostly 3 stamps. So these 3 images, 1A, 1B, and 1C, combine to make the one image. So easy to use. I can't wait to show you. This stamp set, yeah, it's one of my very favorites. I probably say that a lot, but it's the truth. Wait till you see the cards that you can make with it. So let me show you the cardstock I'm using. This is Flirty Flamingo, and this is Whisper White. So I'm gonna go ahead and start stamping on my Whisper White. I'm gonna put that on my piercing mat. So because I've been making so many cards, I've just got all my flower stamps already on a big block. Then they're super handy for me to grab. And the 3 colors that I'm using to create the flower are Flirty Flamingo, Poppy Parade, and Merry Merlot. Now, I am going to show you some color combinations here. When I first started stamping and playing with this stamp set and getting used to, trying to figure out how to use them all, I started stamping on some Whisper White cardstock, and then I realized I better start writing down what colors I'm using so I can remember, and then I can duplicate them down the road. So this has come in very handy for me, and here's the combination here. I really like it. They're all beautiful, and I've got some blues in there and some more reds and some yellows. This one's in the purples with Purple Posy, Highland Heather, and Blackberry Bliss, and then some yellows again, some softer yellows. You can see the difference. So I recommend, if you get this stamp set, which I really think you should, you're going to want to have a play like this, and then you're going to have your little cheat sheet so you remember what colors to use. And obviously I'm going to be die cutting a lot of these out and using them for cards and scrapbooking and different projects. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my flowers. So the first flower I'm going to make is this one right here. So to complete this flower, I need this image, and this one. So I'm going to start with my big flower. Now I've done a lot of stamping with this stamp set, and I've also gone in reverse where I've used, taking off a glue dot there, where I've used this stamp first and then this one and this one last. It all works. So I'm going to start with the lighter of the three colors, which is the Flirty Flamingo. Ink it up, and I'm going to stamp it down right there. So to line this up, you'll see on this image there's this little shape right here. I don't even know how to properly describe it, but this is what I've been using to line up my images with, and it makes it really easy because on the stamp, might be easier if I show you on the case, here's that very same shape, which is this shape here and the shape here and this shape here. So that's what I've been using to line up my stamps, and it's working really, really well. Next, I'm going to go into Mary Merlot, and this is the image I'm using right here. And again, I'm lining up this white bit on top of my stamped images. It's okay if these are off a little bit, they're still going to look really pretty. So there's my first flower. So now I'm going to move on to the next one. So for this flower, I'm using this image, the second image, and the third image. This is actually my favorite flower image from the whole set. So I'm going into my Flirty Flamingo again, stamping down, and then the second one, and I'm going into Poppy Parade. And I'll show you how I'm lining these ones. These little middle parts are what I'm using to line it up with, and it's again really, really easy to see. So just putting this down. Oh, and I should also say that this little bit here lines up with this leaf here. So again, it just took some playing around, but once I started stamping all kinds of these, it was so easy and they're so beautiful. There we go. And now the last one in the Mary Merlot. Isn't that pretty? All right, time to finish. I'm gonna add some greenery. So I've already created some masks. These are my post-it notes. You can tell I've been doing a lot of stamping, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put those masks right over top. And I can see I got some ink on my fingers, so I got some ink on my paper. So there's definitely a leaf is going to be going there. Oh, that's the same one. Hang on. Here we go. It goes on just like so. So these are the 3 leaf images. So I'm going to use some shaded spruce. And I'm stamping right on top of that mask. And over here. And then we'll do a different leaf right there. And we'll put this one right there. And then we've got our little leaf here. Okay, I've cleaned all those stamps, and now I'm bringing in my old olive, and I'm going to add some different shades of green to this. Okay, again using the old olive, I'm going to bring in some of these other stamps here. Now these ones are 2 steps. So these ones work together, you've got these that work together, and you have all of these little flowers too. There's just so much you can do with this stamp set. So the first one I'm going to stamp with is this image right here. And I didn't give myself a whole lot of room. Let's see. I'm going to have this one coming off of that. And then I have an image that is exactly the same, but just a bit smaller. So I'm going to use that one. And I'm gonna do that one off of here. And there's more. I'm gonna use this one. I really like this stamp. Here's the same thing but smaller. So I'm gonna have that one coming from behind this flower. And let's go in with the smaller one. So let's put the little stamps together. So now I'm stamping this one that coordinates with the little stem. And I think I can put this old olive away. And I'm going to use my purple posy. And this just simply stamps right on top. You see that? You know what? It looks really pretty, but I think I want it to be a darker purple, so I'm gonna stamp right on top of that. Let's go with Highland Heather. Go a shade up. Oh yeah, much better. Now I'm stamping the larger image right on top of this one. And these really line up easy. I'm just going to turn that way. You see how those line up right on the green branches? Pretty fun. Okay. I think, oh, we got to add something to this here. So I'm going to pull in some Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to stamp this right there. So now that I've stamped this one, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this image on top. So I'm going to pull in a darker blue for that. And bring in some Night of Navy. Might not see it because that Misty Moonlight's pretty dark, but I'm going to give it a whirl. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see it. Can you see that shading? See if I can get that light in here. Looks pretty. Going back into the Misty Moonlight, and I'm using this image. And that's going to come off the paper a bit, that's alright. Now I'm using this one with the Night of Navy. And it might be hard to see on the camera, but as that ink dries, that Misty Moonlight, that Night of Navy is really popping out. Subtle, but beautiful. So I am going to pull in another stamp set, because remember I was talking about covering up my little ink mark here. Well, we have another fabulous stamp set, and I've been using the heck out of it. And if you guessed Forever Fern, you guessed correctly. So I'm going to use that to stamp kind of around the edges. I'm going to fill this in. So let's just put some computer paper there and try to make some room. So I'm starting with this image right there, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull in my Mossy Meadow. Where did that ink spot go? Oh, I don't know. It must be magic. Why, yes, it is. All right, that's enough of that one. We need another green. Stampin' Up! Has so many awesome green colors. What's the next green gonna be? We should use some Just Jade because it's one of our gorgeous new in colors. And for the Just Jade, I'm going to use this one. Stick that on the block. This really brightens it up nicely. And a little bit there. And a little bit there. Now I'm bringing in this little guy, which is this one. And I want to come in with a nice lighter green. So I'm thinking Pear Pizzazz. And I don't mind that it's overlapping some of those flowers. Whoa, come back here. runaway stamp. And I'm going in different directions. And I think that's it. Oop, that didn't stamp very well. Let's do that again. There. Now we're almost done. The last thing I'm gonna add are these little splatters. I love that stamp. I'm gonna pull that out. And for that, I'm going to use some crumb cake, I do believe. Ink that up, see how dark it's gonna be. Oh, that'll be fine. So I'm just gonna fill in those areas. I'm only using full strength ink on a couple, and now I'm just going to stamp off without re-inking so that it goes lighter. And it just fills in all those extra spots. Okay, I think that's good. There's a lot going on there. So let's reveal the magic. And there is the finished layer. All right. I love this stamp set, and I have some cards to show you after this one's done. Okay, let's get this on the card base. So I'm using my Stampin' Seal. You can see I didn't like how that one lined up, so that ended up on the back. I am loving this adhesive, you guys. I showed it in my last video, and that was the very, very first time I used it. It was right on camera, and I am so loving it. I'm so loving this adhesive. It goes on so easy. Okay, so this is gonna get put on just like that. I'm gonna put a piece of paper on the inside. Some people ask me how I decorate the inside of my cards. I don't often decorate the inside of my cards until I'm personalizing the card for somebody. And that's when I stamp my sentiment, and sometimes I'll add a little flower or something. But that's why I don't show them when I'm making my videos, because I don't often do the inside until I'm about ready to give it to someone. All right, let's bring back this gorgeous stamp set and show you the sentiments. So we have, wishing you all things fabulous. You make the flowers smell sweeter and the sunshine brighter. I'm here for you and nobody gets me like you do. Sounds like a title for a song. So because I've been making lots of cards, and can you see the ink on my finger? Holy moly, I'm covered with ink. I've already made a bunch of labels, and I have punched them out with this guy. I showed him in my last video. Oh my gosh, such a great label, label punch, and all of the links are down below in the description as well as on my blog. So I have a couple labels here. I've got two that say wishing you all things fabulous, and you make the flowers smell sweeter and the sunshine brighter. I'm going to use that one. And I already have dimensionals on the back of it. So now I just have to decide where I want to put it. I'm going to put it right there. There's my finished card. And that's just a one layer card. So let me show you. Here's another one I did, and it's on the Shaded Spruce card base. I made a whole bunch of these, and I just put them on all different colors. You can see I stamped this one different as well. But just to show you how much fun I've been having with this stamp set and how many cards I'm currently making with this stamp set, not counting the ones I've already mailed out to people using this stamp set, I have been using my Stamparatus, and look it. I'm a machine with this stamp set. Now, some of these are later than others because I'm not re-inking my stamp. So if you recall in one of my videos, my today's tiles video, I was talking about second generation stamping. So that's what I was doing with these. So I was putting this on my Stamparatus, inking it in full strength, taking this out, putting another one in, and stamping right back on top. So I will be finishing all of these cards, and then I've got them ready. And let me show you some other cards I've made. Again, using the same color because the Flirty Flamingo and the Poppy Parade and the Merry Merlot is one of my favorite combinations. So here's another card I made. And this is just a white, whisper white layer on top of a whisper white card. I added a little yellow flower. This is another flower in the stamp set. It is these three right here. And added some yellow flowers here. So pretty. I love, love, love it. Then I used more of the die cuts. This is in the yellows. This is, I can tell you because I got my cheat sheet. Hang on. This one, let me see. Maybe I was just looking at it. This one was my favorite yellow combination. That's why I put a circle on it. So this is it, Cajun Craze for the darker color, Bumblebee for the middle color, and So Saffron for the lighter color. So I really, really like that. And you can see what a difference the dies make as well. The dies are just awesome. And I stamped first on the card, and then when I put my die on, I just staggered it down just a little bit. Gives it a little bit more of a 3D look. And then I have the last one to share with you. This one I cased right out of the catalog with just a couple of tweaks. Oh look, here's another one with pinks. Love it. On page 121 shows the stamp set. Let me zoom out a bit for you. So here's the stamp set. And here is where I got my inspiration. So the difference that I did is I switched the card colors. So this here die cut is with the Seaside Spray, which I used for my card base. And the card base, which was Misty Moonlight on the card sample, is what I used for my die cut and the sentiment. And then I pretty much stamped everything else the same. And the colors on this one, they actually have it listed right here in the catalog. They use So Saffron, Daffodil Delight, and Crushed Curry, which I did as well. So that die cut also comes in the dies. We have the flower dies, but look how beautiful this is. That is another gorgeous die. And then I just cut that in half and put half on top and half on the bottom. So can you tell I've been loving this stamp set? I mean, loving this stamp set. So I hope you get it. I hope you have fun with it. And don't be overwhelmed when you open it up and you see all the letters and the numbers. Just have a play like I did and refer back to this video. It's so easy to line them up. It really, really is. And I can't wait to do so many more projects with this stamp set. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I appreciate you taking time to watch. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it. You're notified every time I upload a new video. And happy stamping!